Previously on Divorce Court. Mrs. Martinez and Mr. Martinez, I did not expect to see you back here.
I am here, Your Honor, because I am angry. I am pissed and I want a divorce. Not only is my husband manipulative and controlling, but he's also denying our 2-month-old baby.
I'm here for answers. I want to know, bottom line, I want to know if that's my kid or not.
I want to find out what has been going on.
The last time we came to court, Your Honor, 2 years ago, it was fabulous. And we're back to zero again. We lost our apartment. We're back to the hotels with our 3 kids.
Lots of things happened. I got into a car accident. This accident made me change.
Mr. Martinez, it sounds like this accident made you lazy again.
We were feeling down. We were going through a lot of stuff. So I'm like, let's go to church. He doesn't even stay for the mass or anything. He right away goes to the priest and tells the priest, we don't have nowhere to live and my wife is pregnant with my baby. The people come and they start giving us money.
You need Jesus, I'm telling you that right now. This trust situation, what is that about?
I'm gonna be honest, one day she was asleep and I went through her phone. It was just telling me.
You had some spidey sense was going on.
And I found out that she cheated on me with my
That's gonna take a minute. That's gonna take a minute. That's gonna take a minute. Mrs. Martinez, anybody that would push me to a point where prostituting myself is my only option, that's not who I need to be with.
I felt like I had no choice.
Your Honor, you know what? I accept full responsibility. In this case, I feel like it was my fault that she did this.
And you all figured out a way to get through that. Because you're clearly
I don't know how
here.
I did, but I'm getting through that.
How old
He feels
is
like
this family member?
He feels like he's the only one that's traumatized. How do you think I felt when I had to sleep with your
And honestly,
because
Your Honor,
we didn't have no money.
Honestly, Your Honor, she was drunk when she was doing it because I found bottles of Bacardi in my apartment.
Let me guess, you had to be drunk.
They were full.
Yes.
They were full and they weren't even open.
Yeah,
And he knows that.
Those were full.
I'm gonna talk for just a minute. Mrs. Martinez, do you have family outside of Mr. Martinez and his family?
No.
That's clear to me, because you really and truly need to have some people in your life who will put their arms around you and tell you that you're valuable. Because for you to do something like that means that you are one of the most damaged people that I've ever met in my life. I remember you standing before me before, and you were so beat down in spirit. I remember looking at you with tears, and you had lost yourself. And now you're doing things that is just so outside the realm of decency. You have to know that that's not something that you'd ever be proud of.
And Your Honor, I've tried to call my family member, and he doesn't want to talk to me. For various reasons.
Mr. Martinez, is this family member the reason you're concerned that the baby is not yours?
Honestly, yes.
Do you think it's possibly the family member?
I have more reasons besides that.
There's been somebody else?
Yes.
Who wants to tell me about that?
I'll tell you, Your Honor. We checked into a motel, and I had to leave I needed some space. I went back to the motel. She was nowhere to be found. She put another move on. She just left.
You all were arguing, I bet. Is that correct, Mrs. Martinez?
That's correct, but I didn't leave.
Your Honor, she left. Well, I tried to call her. My phone was dying.
Ms. Martinez, what happened? Excuse me, Mrs. Martinez, I want to hear this.
We were in the hotel. We got into a heated argument. He left. So he goes downstairs and he checks me out of the hotel. So since he checked out, the people from downstairs told me you can't stay here. So I had to check out. It was 12 at night. I went to go sit at a bus stop. It was like 3 in the morning.
Where are the children in all of this?
They're with my mother-in-law because she knows what's going on.
Your Honor, I couldn't get in touch with her. She thought the relationship was over because we never apart. We apart each other for like, when we're arguing, I leave for an hour or two, and then we reunite.
But he's asking, where was I? Where was he?
Exactly.
There
Where was
this
she?
guy-
What
I'll tell you
happened?
where was she.
There was this guy
She
who
was
came
in a
up.
Give me a minute.
There was this
Excuse
guy
me.
who came at the bus stop, and he said, "Hey, are you okay?" I was crying. He started being nice to me, and he took me to somewhere safe, and it was a rooftop of a building,
Can you?
and we ended up having sex.
Wow.
There's a reason that he doesn't trust you.
And Your Honor, she calls me in the morning because she wouldn't answer her phone. She claims that her phone had died. She calls me, hey, where are you? I told her, where are you? Meet me here. She comes, she gets off the stop. She looked like she was, I don't know. And I told her the truth. I felt it in my heart. I'm like, you know what? Tell me the truth. Oh, no. She told me straight out, oh, I was in a rooftop by myself. I found it. And she still wanted to take me there. I'm like, what the?
So she lied.
No, she didn't lie. She actually told me she was in a rooftop. She was, but she didn't tell me.
Or
And
who she was with.
Who she was with. So I kept telling her, you know what? I know what you did. No, I didn't do it. I kept going. She kept following me. And then she's like, until she confessed. And she didn't use protection. She didn't use protection. She didn't. I like it because she tells me, she always tells me the truth when she does something horrible like that. And she told me, you know what, babe, it was nothing. It was nothing. You know, he didn't even last 10 seconds and then blah, blah, blah. Crap. And
Yeah,
you know,
because I started to feel bad, yes.
And I'm like, what in the world are you telling? In my head, I'm like, oh my God. But me, as I started going into details. So what happened? Okay, well, you know, they went to the rooftop. And so he couldn't even get you a room, a decent room, at least to go do your thing. Yeah, you had to go to a rooftop, climb, breaking and entering,
I'm
trespassing.
disgusted. I'm sorry. I'm disgusted. I work very hard at not trying to judge people's behavior, but I'm trying very hard not to vomit in my own mouth right now.
Honestly, when she was telling me all this crying, we went to the McDonald's and had sex. I grabbed her. I told her, you know what? Come here. You want, and you know, because I needed some blood and steam. So we ended up going to the McDonald's in the restroom, and I had sex with her in the restroom.
I work very hard at not trying to judge people's behavior because whatever's happening in your relationship, you've made the decision to be in a
Your
relationship.
Honor, honestly,
but I'm trying very hard not to vomit in my own mouth.
And Your
right
Honor,
now.
honestly, when she was telling me all this crying, we went to the McDonald's and had sex. I grabbed her. I told her, you know what? Come here. You want, and you know, because I needed some blood and steam. So we ended up going to the McDonald's in the restroom, and I had sex with her in the restroom when she was telling me all this crap.
Did
Sorry.
you even have time to bathe between men?
Nope.
Nothing. I was like, you want me to treat you like that, like dirty? Let's do this. So I'm like, you know
my
what?
God.
I
don't
could be
wanna laugh,
nasty
but
too.
just
I
Jesus
could be
Christ.
disgusting
Do
too.
you actually hear how this sounds,
Yes.
ma'am? You know, honestly, if I didn't know the two of you, I would sincerely think that my court staff was punking me and that this was a joke. I would sincerely think that you were actors.
No, this is.
But this is real life because I know the two of you. I know your background. I've seen the photos of your children. I know they exist. I know this case.
And Your Honor, and that's not it.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's not it. Now we don't know who the baby belongs to.
Yes,
Either
we
that
do.
guy-
Yes, because he had
and-
sex with me the same day, so don't give me that excuse.
Wow. But you had sex with him before.
You did too?
You do realize that means it could be either one's baby.
No, I know whose it is.
You might be able to count,
And Your Honor,
but biology says if you've had sex with two different people within the time of conception, it could be either person. I mean, that's just biology. I make no judgment on behavior. That's just biology.
This is his baby because I didn't even let
you
the
wanna
other
know
guy
why I
finish.
have
Oh, dear Lord.
doubts, too? Because I have lots of kids. I have 3 kids with her. None of my kids. She was diagnosed with Turner syndrome, which means she has a heart condition internally. Her organs are
No, he doesn't
shaped.
even know what that means. Turner syndrome is when one chromosome disconnects with the other. It's not heredity or anything.
She's beautiful.
So honestly, Your Honor, that makes me doubt even more if it's my baby, because none of my children
he doesn't make sick
that.
babies.
Have that. And you know what? I still love her. And even though it could, even if it's not my baby or if it is my baby, I'm still there for her. I've gone to all the appointments. I've done what any dad would do, even if it's not my baby. When the baby was born, I didn't feel any connection.
Mrs. Martinez, you wanted to do this DNA test because you wanted to put everything to rest and resolve once and for all. Am I correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Martinez, you wanted to know for certain.
Yes.
When it comes to 2-month-old Jenny Quintero, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Martinez, Corey, I got nothing. I sincerely, I don't even know what to say to the two of you. I don't know if I give advice for marriage counseling. I don't know if therapy. I almost want social services to take those children because I feel like they're in danger because you all are making choices that will impact on them for the rest of their lives.
This is
I'm
why I
worried
want a
about the
divorce.
kids right now. But I can resolve one thing for you because we did a DNA test at your request. Corey, will you please get the results?
Yes. And Your Honor, when the baby was born, I looked at the baby. Usually babies, time has passed by. I didn't feel any connection. I didn't feel that father thing. I was just there because responsible because I wanted to be there.
I'd like to know before I even go to this, Mrs. Martinez, what do you want?
I want to divorce him.
And what's your plan?
Be myself again. He has torn me down. I used to be so happy. I had a job. I was going to school. I met him.
Your Honor, when...
Excuse me, I'm listening to her. Something that you should have done also.
I just want to divorce him. I want to get away from him. I feel like with him, I have become the most terrible person. I have shown him the bad side of me. Thank you. I just want to get away from him. Honestly, instead of love, I hate him.
And I'm telling you that feeling is really making you hate yourself because the things that you are doing is so destructive for yourself. Every time you allow another human being inside of you, a little piece of you is taken out also. That's why people make choices about who they are intimate with, because you're sharing so much of yourself and you're throwing yourself around like you're a piece of meat, like you don't matter. Mrs. Martinez, you matter. You matter, honey. You matter.
Your Honor, permission to speak, to say something?
What would you like to say, Mr. Martinez?
She knows that I've always been there for her, and
No,
it's
you
not
haven't.
always been like
No,
like
you
this, Your
haven't.
Honor.
Mr. Martinez, no, you haven't.
I've showed her the
No,
best
you haven't.
of
Mr.
me.
Martinez, stop it.
She's like that
Listen,
because
let
she
me
wants
tell
to
you
be.
something. I put all blame right now on Mrs. Martinez because she's an adult and she's made some really poor choices. But what you will not do is stand there and be self-righteous and pretend that you've been the man that she deserved. Please don't do that because it's not true. It's not true. I don't blame you for her choices, but you are not innocent. You have taken this woman's youth and her time, and I don't know what these results are going to be, and I don't know what choices you all are going to make, but both of you stand here in accountability. Both of you are accountable for your own actions. You going to jail, leaving your family, living in hotels, children having inconsistency. You are raising a generation of children who are not going to know who they are or whose they are. And that is so wrong. In my personal opinion, you've both committed child abuse. In my personal opinion, because no child should have been put through the things that you all have been putting them through. Mrs. Martinez, you wanted to do this DNA test because you wanted to put everything to rest and resolve once and for all. Am I correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Martinez, you wanted to know for certain.
Yes.
When it comes to 2-month-old Jenny Quintero, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Martinez, you are the father.
Thank God. Thank God.
Now what?
I still want a divorce.
Will you retrieve the papers for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Martinez, will you accept some individual therapy from this court?
Yes. Yes, I will.
Hurt people hurt people. And the person that you've been hurting more than anyone is you. I really want you to get some help. You said you want to get back to yourself. I actually want you to find yourself. I want you to stop treating you like you don't matter. It breaks my heart that you don't value yourself as much as other people value you. But I'm going to give you the therapy necessary to help you get to that point. You've signed these papers. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Serve the papers.
You've been served.
Mr. Martinez, I cannot force you to sign them.
I'm not signing that.
I can't. But what I can do for Mrs. Martinez is provide you with a transcript of these proceedings so that you can begin a civil court proceeding to dissolve your marriage.
Thank you.
I honestly think that is the best thing for you, coupled with therapy. And I'm not ordering marriage therapy. I'm ordering individual therapy. Because I do not think that the two of you belong together. This is a family that is in shambles. And the two of you are not good for each other, not good for these children, not good for the state of marriage. Somebody's going to end up in jail or dead. Because right now, you're being trafficked, you're being mentally and physically abused, and you need to get out of this. Are you ready to walk out of this?
Yes.
I want you to walk her out, because not on my watch will you go back with him. Take her out.
Good thing. Ma'am, you want to follow me this way?
Your Honor, what I will say, I will sign the birth certificate. That I will sign.
Yeah, you're going to, because I tell you what, any job you ever get, I want them to garnish every bit of your wages for all those children.
So are you relieved to know the DNA test results?
Yes, I do. At least he knows he was the father.
Yeah. Are you happy with your decision to move forward
Yes,
by yourself?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I hope everything will turn out better now.
Hi, Judge. I wanted to thank you for all your help since court. Oscar and I have been going to couples therapy. Oscar has really changed.
Gabriela and I have a lot to work on. We both are getting new jobs and currently waiting for an apartment to have a roof over our head.
I am glad the DNA results show that he is the father.
I'm happy that me and Gabriela can finally fix and work on our marriage.
Thank you, Judge, for always making me feel heard and for all your advice.
May